Welcome back everyone, Brett Canada here, Juice Feaster on all the social media platforms, and I'm on a mission to cleanse, regenerate, and transform 1 million people with the magical powers of juicing. Hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to make sure that you receive the videos that I drop weekly on how you can take your health to the next level. Okay, let's get into today's video. We are going to compare and contrast two juicers here. The AMR521 from Aicok to the Green Star GSE 5000, the Green Star Elite. Now both of these juicers are cold press masticating style juicers. The difference being, one of the main differences being with the Aicok AMR521, it's a single auger horizontal juicer. With the Green Star GSE or Elite 5000, it's a twin auger masticating style. Another big difference is we have a plastic auger with the single auger on the AMR521, and we have a stainless steel plastic combo on the twin gears of the Green Star. And probably the biggest difference between these two juicers is the price. The price, the suggested retail price at the time of filming this video for the AMR521, the Aicok, is $139 on Amazon. And if you look at the price for the Green Star GSE 5000, the Green Star Elite, it ranges anywhere from $550 to $650 retail price. So big difference in the price point. So really, one of my goals is to make sure that you have the best juicer for your needs to be able to make juice daily, quickly, efficiently. But also it's important to find a juicer that fits with your needs. What's best for you? You know, is it necessary to have a $600 juicer? Or can you do all of your juicing and fulfill your juicing goals with something a little less expensive, maybe in that $100 to $150 range? So what I want to do is break these two juicers down so that you can see the differences, the pros and the cons with each of them. So as I mentioned earlier, the AMR521 is a single auger juicer. So we have just a single auger setup with a single screen. If I can get it out here. Very simple unit, very easily put together and taken apart. The screen, I will say, is a little more coarse on the AMR521. So if you prefer a pulpier style juice, I have a feeling that this might make more of that type of juice, but I'm not sure. And only one type of screen, one thickness level of screen hole size came with the AMR521, so really it's the only option that we have. Very simple to put together and take apart, which is nice. Makes it super easy to take apart and clean, as you see. Very easy to put back together. Clicks together like that. Both of these juicers have a similarly sized feed chute. So, you know, about the size of a large carrot is about as big as you can put through at any one time on both of these juicers. So if there's anything larger than a medium to large size carrot, it's going to have to be chopped up on both of these juicers. So very similar in that regard. We do see a difference in the feed chute tray size, a slight difference. If we can take this one apart. A little bit bigger on the Green Star, but not much bigger. And you will notice that the feed chute tray for the AMR521 is very small, whereas it contains the entire shroud for the Green Star Elite, which covers all the working mechanism on it. Both of these juicers do come with produce tampers. You know, a little more substantial for the Green Star, a little less substantial, but no big deal for the Aicok. Also a very much smaller footprint for the AMR521. As you can see, occupies a much smaller countertop space versus the Green Star, which is definitely a little more hefty, okay? You know, for the Green Star, it's best to kind of have this juicer in one spot, although it does have a nice handle that you can pick it up and move it around as necessary. The Aicok model does not have a handle, but it's a much smaller profile. So my guess is that the power, the motor strength and the power for the Aicok is going to be a little bit less than the Green Star, and coming in a lot heavier means that motor base is going to be a lot heavier and going to probably have much more long-term juicing capability. But here again, we'll see how that works for each one of the juicers. Let's pull apart the Green Star. Equally as simple, but a few more parts involved with the Green Star. This is basically the outer back pressure knob. This knob actually puts back pressure as the produce pulp comes through the juicer, gets pushed through the juicer towards the end. You can reduce and increase the pressure on this back pressure knob to accommodate different types of produce, be it soft fruits or harder vegetables or greens. You can loosen and tighten this to adjust the flow of the pulp coming out and increase or decrease the yield of juice that comes out at the same time. We have a screen, and this juicer came with 3 screens, a blank screen, a coarse screen, and a fine screen. And personally, I like the finer screen as I like juices with a little less pulp. But if you like something a little pulpier, you can use the coarse screen. Appears to be only one option that came with the Aicok juicer, so you're kind of stuck with whatever comes at you. If you do want to strain it a little finer, you can actually use a fine mesh strainer, which I typically run all of my juices through anyhow. So there's the strainer. Let's pull apart the gears here. Whereas on the Aicok, you had one single horizontal gear, we've got 2 interlocking twin gears here that fit together. And what's interesting about these gears is that they're actually there's a magnetic field that is created with these 2 gears that actually aligns the magnetic field around the produce, and it allows for additional extraction of nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and enzymes, which is a really cool feature on the Green Star that is quite unlike a lot of the juicers that are out on the marketplace. And so, you know, depending upon what your goal is for juicing, if you're into additional nutrition, which is one of the main benefits of making juice, is getting concentrated nutrition from the fruits and vegetables that we're juicing, then this is a kind of an upsell. This is something that takes the yield and the nutrition extraction up a notch, which is a little bit different from the Aicok. So a little less basic and a little more expert level here on the Green Star. And then there's a backing plate here as well that your gears fit into, basically fits around the gears. So let's put it back together and get on with the show here. There are, with these gears, might be tough to see in the video, but there are 3 dots, 2 of them on the end of one gear and 1 dot on the other. You basically align those 3 dots up together, with this dot being in the center and these 2 dots being on the outside. Line them up, and that's the perfect way for the magnetic field to be activated and the gears to spin together perfectly. Okay, so let's put that back in there. Put our back in. Super simple to put back together. And there we have it. So those are the basic differences in the structure and the layout of each one of the juicers. Here again, both of them are horizontal, but we have a single auger plastic and a twin gear combination stainless steel and plastic with a biomagnetic field on there. So what we're going to do to make a comparison of the 2 juicers is I've pre-weighed out 500 grams of celery on these scales here. And so we're going to run 500 grams of celery through each one of the juicers and see how they do. We're going to look at the color of the juice. We're going to see the amount of the juice that's produced. We're going to see how much pulp is in the juice between each of the juicers. And we're going to taste it and just take a look to see you know, how it compares. So let's get started on the juicing. Okay, we are complete in the juicing of the 500 grams of celery, and let's take a look at see what we got out on the output. All right, so let's look at the pulp here that we received from the Green Star. So doesn't look to be a whole lot of pulp there, so you know, interesting to see kind of that level of how it stacks up there, and compared to what we got from the Aicok. So interesting to see that. I will say the pulp feels relatively wet, and we can see that there definitely is some quite a lot of juice still left in this celery. So a little bit concerning there in terms of the yield, where I think we may have received a lot more yield out of the Green Star, but we'll measure that out and make sure. Okay, let's take a look at the juice then. Put the pulp out of the way here. First thing we're going to do is pour it through a strainer to see exactly what we have in terms of pulp, and then we'll look at the volume. Looks like, just looking at the volume, we're right at about 300 milliliters here, so a little over 8 ounces to convert it to US there. So let's pour this through the strainer and see what we have. So we've got some pulp in there, not too bad, but for 500 milliliters of celery, that might be, or 500 grams of celery, that might be more than I would expect, but we'll see how that compares with the Green Star. So we have the same size measuring cup here, measuring glass, measuring pitcher. And if you can see here, we're at 400 milliliters. So 100 more milliliters of extra juice from the Green Star than the Aicok. So what's that come out to be? You know, 25–30% more juice extracted from the Green Star. So that's kind of striking to see that number. Let's pour this into another pitcher here and take a look at the pulp from the Green Star. So as one would expect, having the finer strainer on the Green Star, we see really a whole lot less pulp on the Green Star, which is crazy to think about, since you know, we put the same amount through. So really we're getting a much cleaner juice with the Green Star, which is really crazy. You can see all this pulp here versus hardly any at all, just a little bit from the Green Star. So quite a bit of a difference there. So let's get this juice back. Next thing we'll do we'll kind of take a look at the color and see if we can see any color differences. Pour these into some similar size containers here, so you can see quantity wise. Okay, so they're stacked up. This is a 20-ounce ball jar, and you can see about an inch more liquid in the jar from the Green Star juicer. So quite a bit more juice there, and kind of tough to tell color-wise, but I would say that the Green Star juice over here is a little darker. So what that means exactly, I would say that there's more nutrition. Those colors are, you know, the biophotons, the anthocyanins, the biochemicals that are found in produce that offer the health-giving properties from the juice. And so the darker that juice is, I tend to think that it's much more nutritious. So I think it's a really good example to see that maybe the Green Star has you know, more nutrition extraction, which is what they tout with their juicer. So let's take a taste of these juices. Let's taste the celery juice from the Aicok. It's good. You know, the typical salty celery, earthy celery flavor. I would say it's a good flavor. Nothing wrong with the flavor. No bitterness or intense off flavors at all whatsoever. So good juice there. Wow. Quite a bit of difference from the Green Star. Here again, that salty, earthy celery flavor, but there's an additional depth of flavor there, a little more richness from the celery. And I can't help but think that looking at the color of the juices and the extraction level of the juices, comparing the two, that there's a lot more you know, energy in this. There's a lot more nutrition, a lot more vitamins and minerals and enzymes, and that's what we're after with regards to the juice. So all in all, very interesting comparison of the Aicok AMR521 and the Green Star Elite. Very little pulp, in summary, very little pulp. You know, I did the ring out test with the pulp on the AMR. There's a little bit coming out here as well. So, you know, there's still some juice in there, but we definitely know that looking at the volume, the Aicok was way less in terms of 100 milliliters less than the Green Star, and quite a lot less pulp. You know, one of the things that we can do with this pulp, we can actually make veggie juice pulp crackers. So, you know, all hope is not lost with having this much pulp, but if you're after the juice, you're definitely getting a lot less juice with the AMR521. Another point that I'll make about a difference between the two juicers, the Aicok has a 2-year warranty for it, and the Green Star has a 15-year warranty. So if you're looking to buy used part or buy parts, replacement parts, or coverage for any kind of issue, the Green Star certainly has a much longer warranty and much more inclusive coverage than the Aicok of 2 years. But what's that worth to you? If you don't have the additional cash difference between the two, maybe the Aicok could be a good choice for you to get started. So all in all, juicing the two you know, celery through the two juicers, I think the Aicok performed well. It didn't struggle as I pushed the celery into the juicer. The Green Star took it very easily. There was no issues whatsoever with it. So, you know, I think it really comes down to, are you willing to sacrifice the potential nutritional yield? Obviously, there's no way to know exactly nutrition-wise what's in each one of these juices without doing some nutritional testing. But I think it's safe to say that with the additional liquid and the color and the flavor differences, that Green Star wins out on nutrition and yield. So it's really up to you. What's the best juicer for you? Let me know in the comments if you've ever used either one of these juicers. Have you used the Aicok AMR521? Have you used the Green Star Elite? What's your favorite? If you're not using either one of these juicers, which juicer do you use? Leave that down below in the comments. And I hope you were able to get something out of this video that will better help you make your juicer selection if you're interested in getting your first juicer, or if you are interested in leveling up to a better juicer. So until we speak again, I encourage you to make lots of juice, drink it all, and stay juicy. Cheers.